Hello, ladies. I am so excited to chat with you today. I wanted to hop on here for a quick second. I follow some really amazing coaches and women who are doing some really incredible things. And there's no denying that. These women are just incredible. However, I've noticed one of them. She talks very much about and it's along the lines of do everything that you want to do, and if you're not committed 100%, then you're not going to get what you want accomplished, and you might as well give up. And it's like you need to be in or out, like you can't be on the fence, which is very true. I'll talk about that later, but it's very much a little bit aggressive, the tactics used to get people motivated. It's kind of like CrossFit, right? CrossFit really works for some people, that kind of really aggressive, like, give me, or is it CrossFit? What is that? Like, give me 5 more burpees even though you feel like you're going to die. Like, do it, or you're not committed to losing weight and stuff like that. Obviously, that like line of exercise, that line of mentality, that all of that doesn't work for me. I don't feel motivated by it. I feel motivated by someone who's pushing me, and I agree. I feel motivated by fire, that very fiery passion. And I wanted to point to mental illness and talk today about those of us who have experience with severe anxiety, severe depression, mild anxiety, mild depression. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It definitely makes our life experiences different than that of others. And that mentality, it just doesn't work for us. We don't thrive in that environment. I really want to strongly encourage you to really breathe in that passion and that fire that they bring to the table if there's somebody that you really love, and sit in the vibration and the energy of what they're saying and not internalize the message that they're saying, and feed off of that really amazing energy and allow it to invigorate you without feeling defeated by the message. There's one person in particular, I love her to pieces, and I go to her pages and I love her, reading her millions of emails and stuff, and it's just great and it's awesome. But every once in a while there's a trigger for me when things are said like, if you're not all in and completely passionate, you might as well just give up. Well, that's no good. I don't want to give up. But when you wake up in the morning and you're someone who has, it's a mental illness, if it's depression, if it's anxiety, your brain is working differently than someone who's lazy. And I want to really point out that that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about mental illness. They're not talking about things you cannot control in the moment. That's not always conveyed, but it is the truth. When I first started out in Bo Emprise Babe and doing blogging, it was just a little blog back then, and I was really in the thick of dealing with depression. I had this amazing idea. I was going to start this blog. I was going to do this fun stuff, right? And then I started to, come up across all of these amazing people. And I started to be presented with these messages of, you are not good enough, or, made me feel like I wasn't good enough if you aren't sleeping and breathing this, and if you're not dedicated to it, and if you're, not going to be consistent. Consistency was a huge thing. And of course there's value in all of that information. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. And consistency is very important, and providing value is very important, and breaking through your comfort zone also very important. We know that. We understand that. We get that. We're there, There's that feeling inside of not being worthy of your dreams. I was not creating a blog because of anything other than I felt called to create a blog. I felt deep down inside that was the right thing to do, and I didn't even know why. I didn't know what I was going to write about. I was feeling very lost, but it was the beginning of my journey. It was what needed to happen. It was where I needed to be, and I spent a lot of that time, especially in that first 6 months with my blog, not knowing what to write about and not having the energy or the ability to even write. I felt very drained. I felt very, I was barely getting the things done that needed to be done, that were like to-do lists to be done, showing up for work every day and getting my school, assignments submitted on time. I was in college at the time. So these things were important and they were barely getting done. And I started to feel even worse, that feeling already of, knowing that I really desperately and deeply desire to do something. I'm so excited about this new blog and I feel deep down I should be doing it, and not having the energy to get it done is in and of itself bad enough. It's enough to feel. It's enough guilt. It's enough feelings of not being worthy. And then to throw these messages on top of it from people who have accomplished what they have set out to accomplish and are accomplishing great things is even worse. And I went through a lot of time beating myself up, reading these things going, see, you're just not trying hard enough. You'll never succeed. And that is 150% not true. And it's not true for you, and it's not true for me, and it's not true for anyone. Sure, it may take longer for us to get from A to B. We might not, or we might be, but we might not be those people who we start a business in January, and by June, it's got 100 million followers, or, making $100 billion or whatever. We might not be the people who explode like fiery fireworks from being a nobody to all of a sudden everybody knows about them. That may or may not happen, and that's okay. It doesn't need to happen that way for you to fulfill your purpose and do what you're really dreaming about, because there is a big, huge motherfucking difference between I want to do this, I have a drive to do this, I desire to do this, and I'm in the process trying to figure out how to get it done while dealing with depression, and just being plain fucking lazy. There's a big, big, monumental difference. And deep down in your heart which one you are. That you're not being lazy. It feels like in the moment, I tell you, in the moment, when you're actually in the thick of it, and when you're dealing and you're in that low place, you think you're lazy. You think, I'm just lazy. I just don't have the ambition. But when you reach those points where you do get things done, you know deep in your heart that's not you. That's not at all laziness. It is something that you are working through and getting stronger by, and you're working towards, figuring it all out and making every part of you a beautiful part of you that you can learn from and grow from and get strengthened from. And in no way, shape, or form can that be considered lazy. I just wanted to hop on here and give you that little burst of encouragement, because I see it out there. And during this time, especially when the world is in such a strange place and we're in such a strange kind of moment, and it's a little blip in history, and it's going to be a remembered part of history forever, and we're going to be, changed by this for sure. But it is a passing part of history, and things are going to continue to move and change and grow, as they always do. During this time, as we get through it, mental illness is definitely heightened. While we are in this kind of state of almost, mental chaos, it is a part of it. It is a little bit chaotic, and it can bring out, it kind of shakes the bag. It brings all of the stuff to the surface that we need to deal with. And within that can sometimes bring up feelings of unworthiness and those feelings that we feel during depression. And I want to send out this little love note of encouragement to you. If you are struggling, and if you're feeling this way, and you're feeling like, I should be taking this time that I am home from work, or I should be taking this time where blah, 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 or I should be this, I should be that, I should be working out more, I should be doing this more, I should be doing that more, because I have all this time. But there is a strongly held, part of you that is struggling and is kind of having a hard time getting out of bed, or having a hard time getting motivated, or having a hard time feeling involved, having a hard time concentrating on something, having a hard time reading a book. Any of those things are totally and completely okay. Give yourself the love and the encouragement that you need. We're in a really sensitive place right now. The world in a whole is in a really sensitive place right now, and we need so much love, and we need to give ourselves so much love. So I want you to, and here are my tips for really breaking through those barriers and breaking through that noise and breaking through any feelings of unworthiness or frustration that you're not getting enough done. And I want to encourage you to reframe your mindset when you are accomplishing things and when you get through the day. And I want you to, instead of looking at your to-do list and looking at what is it that I should have done, what did I want to do, what, could I have done, and instead I want you to only focus on what you did do. There's no could have, there's no would have, there's no should have, none of that. That doesn't exist. That's not a reality. I want you to only focus on what you did do. There's a little bit of workers. There's some workers outside making some noises, but I opened the window anyway because I can hear the birds a little bit, and I'm hoping you guys can hear them too. Maybe brighten your day a little bit with some beautiful bird noises, lovebird songs. Anyway, write down a list of all of the things that you did do. Write down a list of everything. And I mean everything. I mean, if you gave yourself a chance to rest and recover and you gave your mind a break, write that down. That's an accomplishment. That's something you did for yourself, for your sanity, and for your mental health. And that's important, very important. If you took a break and you took a nap, that's important. And I don't want you to minimize what you're doing for your mental health that your body is forcing you to do. And whether your mind wants to beat you up over it and tell you should have done something different, that doesn't matter. Your body is sending you signals and is forcing you to take action based off of how it's feeling in the moment, and is telling you, you need to stop whatever you're doing. I can't handle, this right now. We need to go take a nap so that I can reset and recover. And that is a really special, beautiful thing, to not ignore that and push that aside and push through that and, completely pretend like those little nudges don't exist is really important. And if you do, try to push through that and try to push through because you have a family that needs to be taken care of, or you need to cook lunch or whatever have you. That's important too. Make sure you note that down as well. Whatever you are doing, make sure you go, look, I cooked lunch for my family. That's huge. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. That's amazing. Don't, knock yourself for what kind of a lunch it was. This is not the time to be putting ourselves down about anything at all. What we got done today, it can't be undone by sitting there and hating on ourselves or feeling, unworthy or feeling down by what we're accomplishing in the world. There's nothing that can be gained from allowing ourselves to sit and wallow in wishing I had done more, wishing I had done, this differently, wishing I had said this differently, or any of that. And so my homework, my encouragement to you, my challenge for you is for you to practice gratitude for what you get to do every single day, regardless of what that is. Gratitude for everything that you did, and absolutely pushing aside any feelings or thoughts about what you didn't do. And I think that's number one, and that's the most important thing, and it's a huge practice. That's a big challenge for you. That's a lot that I'm asking you to do. And honestly, it's so important. That is the only thing that I'm going to ask you to do on this video. And in the future, I'm going to do more along the lines of, mental health and embracing, the situations that we are put in and making the most of them. But for today, I just want to encourage you to make a physical log of how proud you are of yourself for what you got accomplished today, and write down absolutely everything, no matter how big, no matter how small, write it down. Make sure you're writing down why you're so proud of yourself. Why are you proud of yourself for making lunch today? Why are you so happy that you were able to take a nap? Why are you so grateful for this or that in your life? Make sure you're writing down your gratitude for yourself right now. It's not selfish. It's not, self-centered. It's not anything other than self-care and self-love. It's such a powerful message to send to your mind that will make such huge progress in the space of becoming more mentally healthy, and really increase that love for yourself and not beat yourself up so much. It's really special. And I want to let you know how much I'm proud of you and all of the amazing women out there who are doing their very best right now and working with what is happening and flowing with what's going on in whatever way. Even if you feel like you're not doing a good job, even if you feel like, oh, I'm not, there's so many things I should be doing. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. You're doing an amazing job just surviving and getting through. And every little thing that you do to try to help improve your mental health and to help your business and to help grow, even if that's just listening to one podcast in a day, that's amazing. Even if it's just reading a few pages in a book or a magazine, that's amazing. Even if it's just giving yourself the space and the appreciation and the gratitude for what you're going through in the day, that's a really positive mental shift. That's amazing. So I just want to send you love, and I want to send you encouragement, and I want to send you positive vibes, and I hope that you see this and you feel encouraged by it. Let me know if you loved it, if you felt like this really touched you in any way. And I did want to remind you guys that Goddess of Modern Minutes is a place of loving compassion and learning the basics, the foundations of a healthy mindset from somebody who has experienced and lived with and gone through and is still learning the juggle of having a business and the challenges of a business with the challenges of depression and figuring out how to work that all together in a beautiful way. And while I'm still not perfect and I'm still working on it, I found some really beautifully amazing tools, and I would love to share them with you. So if you feel called and if you feel like this is something that you would really love to do, I would love to have you. We are starting in a couple of weeks in the beginning of April. I still have yet to look it up and see what day it is. You can review the video that I made for it on the website or on my IGTV here that will explain it in a little bit more detail. But it's all wrapped around a healthy, beautiful mindset and learning how to kind of flip that switch from feeling down, feeling negative, and allowing those types of messages that I talked to about in the beginning to get through to you, and instead learning how to just enjoy the fire and the passion that other people bring and not at all in any way allow it to affect the way you view yourself or you feel about yourself, because I know you're not lazy and you know you're not lazy, and we know we're just doing the best we can to get through this, and it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. So have an amazing day, have an amazing weekend, and I really, really hope that I get to see you in Goddess of Modern Minutes. Lots of love.